Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I would like to share a recipe for another kind of bread. It is not something I make every week, more like a treat once in a couple months, but it feels special and it's delicious. It feels like I'm spoiling myself and my family. This bread will be on a sweeter side, not too sweet, just the right amount of sweetness. It goes really well with either cream cheese, some jelly, or plain butter toasted. Absolutely delicious. Blueberries, cranberries, and orange zest. Welcome to my kitchen and thank you for watching. What I need today for my yummy bread is a little bit more than 2.5 cups of flour, which should be around 360 grams, 1 cup of oats, which should be around 100 grams, packet of dry yeast, 1 cup of warm water mixed with 2 tablespoons of honey, packet of blueberries, and it is about 100 grams of them. I bought them in Aldi. 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, orange zest, 1/4 of a cup of dry cranberries, and the package of blueberries. I soaked them in warm water for only 5 minutes. That was enough. And now I will add the brown sugar and orange zest to it while they are still warm, so the orange zest will soften for me. So again, while my blueberries are still warm, I will add the orange zest, so it will soften and mix well with the blueberries and the brown sugar. Okay, and the cranberries can go on top. So all together, I have 1 cup of those yummy sweet dry fruits with lemon zest. And this can go on the side for now. And here is my warm water. I want to dissolve the yeast because it will take few minutes to get active. Once it gets foamy, it's ready to go in with the other ingredients. Okay, and here the flour has a pinch of salt already. I want to mix oats and flour. Just stir a little bit so the salt gets incorporated well. And as soon as yeast is ready, I will put it in with those dry fruits. Looks like yeast is ready. I can see it's very foamy. So I can add this into my flour. Stir a little bit. And then add the dry fruits with the lemon zest. Oh, it smells so good. Already, before I even bake it. That lemon zest smells amazing. Okay, mix it. As soon as you don't see any dry flour, you're done mixing. Doesn't take that long. Okay, I stirred it maybe 10 times and this will be resting for at least an hour now. Okay, before I sprinkle a little bit of flour on top, I wanted to come closer and kind of show you the consistency of it. Soft and gooey, and you can see the orange zest in there. It will be so yummy. Okay, cover and leave it until it doubles in size. Okay, before I cover it, I will sprinkle a little bit flour on top. Top and the sides. And now I can cover and leave it to double in size for about an hour. Okay, it has been an hour. You can see it doubled in size. Those bubbles, air pockets. nice and fluffy. Now it is time to do stretching and folding, and once is enough. So a little bit of flour, go around, and then stretch a few times. I would say 8, 10, that's enough. And then cover again and wait another 45 minutes or so. When it doubles in size, it's time to shape and bake. It really depends how warm it is in your house. If your house is warm, 40 minutes should be plenty. If your house is cold, maybe an hour. Once it doubles in size, that's the indication it's ready to shape and bake. And again, 45 minutes passed and it doubled in size. And I can see the air pockets breaking. Looks really good. Time to shape it. Oh, some blueberries left. I don't want to waste any of them because that's what makes the bread so yummy. So again, just want to fold it in, break the air pockets, and then shape it. I've got some baking sheet ready with some flour on it. Maybe I'll hide that one blueberry that's sticking out under. Okay, some flour on top. And in a dish it goes. Last time waiting. I know the waiting part is always the most difficult. I wish it was sooner, faster, but well, you have to wait. So cover, and again, when it doubles in size, then it's time to bake it. And the wait is over. Finally, bread is ready to be baked. You can see it doubled in size, looks good. And I have a Dutch oven in the oven preheating already. I like to have breads in Dutch oven. They tend to puff up a little bit more, but if you don't have it, it is fine to bake it in an open dish. But because there is a little bit more sugar and sugar crystallized, the top burns, well, not burns, but breaks faster. I would cover it with just a baking sheet. And I usually do it at 385 for about 45, 55 minutes. You will see by how the top looks like if your bread is ready to be taken out or not. In the Dutch oven, I like to have it at 400 for about 40 minutes, 45 the most. That should be enough. So again, I'm going to take that Dutch oven out because it's hot. And transfer that bread into it. But first I like to make a cut, just one simple cut. So the bread opens up when baking. And timer for about 40 minutes. Again, if you do not have a Dutch oven, you can bake it at 385 using an open dish, but use another baking sheet on top to cover it. Sugar makes the bread bake faster, especially the crust. So to avoid burning, but you still want the inside of the bread to be baked through, just put the baking sheet on. I will see you when the bread is done. Okay, time to take it out. For me, it was 45 minutes. Oh, timer off. Okay, and here it is. It smells so good. Once it cools off, I will cut a slice and show you the inside up close. Yummy. Yummy, yummy. Finally, time to cut and look on the inside. Still crunchy. My children don't like crunchy breads, so I have to cover every bread I bake in order to make it softer. It is about the moisture coming out, steam. When you take it out of the oven and you want a crunchy skin, don't cover, don't do anything. If you want the skin to be soft, trap the moisture in, put a towel over it. That will make the bread softer, if it comes to the skin, of course. And if I come close enough, I can see the orange zest everywhere. And of course, you can adjust the amount of blueberries and cranberries in that bread, or even honey, if you want to make it sweeter. We like it not too sweet, more like a bread instead of a dessert. Cut a slice, toast it, put ham on it, and have it for lunch with a piece of ham. I hope you will enjoy it as much as we do. Happy baking, and again, thank you for watching. I would like to let you know why I am a big fan of using scale instead of the cups. I do put measurements in cups, so it's easier. As you know, I'm from Europe, so everything for me is in grams. And here in United States, any recipes you have is usually in cups. But I want you to pay attention to one thing, so take it as a tip. I learned by mistakes because I've done it before. So I have put together a flour, the same flour, all-purpose flour, into the same measuring cups. Exactly 2 cups in here and exactly 2 cups in here. But I want to measure it using the scale and show you if there is a difference and how much of a difference it can be. So here is the first 2 cups of flour, as you can see, 2 cups. And here is exactly 2 cups, all around. No cheating. And I will turn on, and there's nothing here. My scale, so it's set to 0. Maybe I should show you. So it's set to 0. If you can see. Okay, and I will put the first 2 cups in. And it says it is 248 grams. So now I will take this into a different cup, and it's empty. Put it back. It comes back to 0. And now the other 2 cups. All of it. And this one is 314. So now you can see that 2 cups are not created equal, right? They do not measure on a scale the same. So why is that? Well, it's all about handling the flour. If we are gentle with it, the flour is fluffy, it's light, and then 2 cups, nice fluffy flour. If you handle the flour, shake it, kind of bang it, on the surface somewhere, it loses its volume because it becomes dense. So you keep adding to have exactly 2 cups, right? Well, but it's much, much more heavier. It's much, much more flour that you need. So if you ever had a cake and you tried to follow the measurements and directions and the cake wasn't quite the way you hoped, it wasn't as fluffy, it wasn't as delicate, it wasn't as soft, well, maybe because there was too much flour. So it's just a tip, and I hope you will find it helpful to kind of pay attention to how we handle flowers. I know how it is when you bake something and you put your heart into it, time into it, and then it doesn't come out the way you hope for. And it's frustrating. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.